Work-life balance on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
In conversation with Zen Kahn, Managing Director at Education First Recruitment and Zen Professional Development. She's a mum of four, an experienced educator and entrepreneur working with multiple disciplines in large and small organisations here and internationally, and in the UK as well, of course. She's got a unique background, more than 15 years of experience in education, leadership, training, strategic planning and business development. She also hosts a bi-weekly webinar, Pushing the Boundaries, which is about a working woman's competitive edge. It's a platform for women to network and upskill with like-minded women. We're talking about confidence in the workplace when it comes to women. Zen, how are you?
Hi, Helen. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you to both you and Zena for inviting me today.
Absolute pleasure. Well, I'm thanking you in advance for your advice, because I feel like we're going to talk about a really important topic, and one we did touch on with Samantha Rolls from Serco earlier, which is about women and confidence in the workplace. And I just wondered, what are some of the reasons you're hearing from clients, from organisations, companies, both here and internationally, about why women perhaps lose that confidence once they get into a position that they might have been working really hard towards for an awfully long time?
Yeah, so as women, we have, many barriers that, that we face. And for me, just to give you a bit of background about what we do and what Zen Professional Development does, we provide online qualifications and training for adults in the education, hospitality and healthcare sector. And we support adults to develop both personally and professionally. And I actually come from a generation of women who unfortunately were not given the support, the opportunity or the encouragement to actually fulfill my potential. Decisions were made, and unfortunately this is a case, for many women in the workplace, where decisions are made for them based on what their circumstances are. So be it, families making these decisions, be it parents, be it extended families, be it colleagues in the workplace, we often face many, many barriers. And as the eldest of...
Sorry, go on.
Sorry?
No, go on. Yes.
What I was saying was, as the eldest of four girls, I always had to be the role model, and the pressure was immense. And this is what women are facing in the workplace today. We have to be perfect. We have to, we have to manage our home life, our work life, our children, our careers, and we're expected to be superwoman. So these are some of the challenges that are being faced today. And
in heels with shiny hair a lot of the time.
Yes, definitely.
I think one of the points you mentioned there is about decisions being made, and often those decisions are made on assumptions about, what companies think women want, or what barriers they're putting in place without actually consulting anyone within that organisation. And I do feel like, perhaps we are at a bit of a turning point. And as I mentioned earlier, we are seeing more flexible working. But one of the barriers I feel like is coming up again and again is that when, and please men, don't come at me on 4001, when men tell their colleagues or their bosses that they want to spend more time with their family, they want to perhaps do drop-off, that's celebrated. That is, what a great dad. Whereas when women come with the same circumstances or requests, it's more of like, oh, well, that's just typical. Of course we couldn't count on a mum to be delivering XYZ. So I'm just curious how you think we can perhaps overcome a lot of these barriers, obstacles and attitudes then.
Yeah, well, a lot of the barriers that we face are, because of self-doubt as women. So we have this imposter syndrome, we have this feeling that we're not good enough, and then we don't want to ask for support when we need it. So, you gave the scenario of the dad taking the child to school. As a mother, I was very lucky when my children were growing up, and I have four boys, that I had flexible working hours because I worked for the DWP in the UK, and we had this facility available where we could work in between the school hours. So I didn't ever have to ask for flexi time. However, in my last job in Qatar, when I was working as vice principal, I had 45 days maternity leave, and I was taking my baby into work with me, and often he was under the desk in his car seat, he's sleeping throughout the meeting, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to let the organisation down, I didn't want to let myself down, and make myself feel that I wasn't giving my job my 100%. So this is the challenge that we face, and often this arises from guilt. The fact that we feel so guilty leaving our children at home, or we feel so guilty asking for time to spend with our families because it may be frowned upon by our employer, because we're supposed to be this superwoman, this woman that can do everything, multitask, and look great, in heels at the same time. So often, we don't ask for this help, and we need this support. And this is why I encourage women to ask for support and ask for help. We if we don't ask, we're not going to get, and things are not going to change. We'll have to carry on with this burden that we carry constantly and this guilt to make sure that everything is perfect around us. And unfortunately, that is when well-being and mental health, and confidence, and burnout, this is when it happens.
I think that's so true. I feel like, we as women, who have a platform have a big responsibility, and that is to normalise, talking about families in the workplace, to normalise that there are responsibilities and wants as well. Not like I'm reluctantly taking my child to the dentist or whatever. It's, I want to be there. And, you need to understand that if you want everything that I am able to offer, the value as an employee, then this is, we're a package deal. That is the case for men as well as women. We've all got an awful lot on our shoulders. And I think the more transparent we are about, everything that's going on outside office hours, it's about being human. Flexible working isn't a women's problem. It's a human problem. That you might be looking after an elderly relative. You might need to go to doctor's appointments. You might need, more flexibility for all manner of reasons. It's not always related to childcare. And I feel like organisations and employers have a responsibility to look at everyone in their workforce as a human, really. And I really hope that we continue to have these type of conversations. If anyone is struggling now with a bit of a crisis of confidence, whether that is applying for a job or thinking that they're not able to upskill right now for all manner of reasons, what would you say to them, Zen?
I would say go for it. I would say, have confidence in your own abilities. One thing that's changed over the last few years is we are now many of us are part of a dual income family. Mm-hmm. So what that means is, as women, if we're the main breadwinners, that doesn't mean that our role as carer changes. We're still the carer at home. So if a man is the main breadwinner, then that's what he is. He's the main breadwinner. He goes to work, he comes home, and he's able to say, well, I'm the main breadwinner. If it's a woman, she's unable to say, well, you know what, I'm just the breadwinner. I don't want to be the carer as well. We have to be the carer. We have to be the nurturer. We have these responsibilities that we often, can't shy away from. So what I would advise women to do is, if they're looking to progress in their careers, if they want to professionally develop, go for it. Seek out a network, seek out courses, build yourself a career plan, and put those plans in place. But make sure that if you are the carer in your family, that you actually allow for that. So, if you have restrictions in terms of childcare, go online, do some flexible learning. If it's your career, you're going to make it to director level and you won't be able to go beyond that. What is it that's holding you back? So put those plans in place early on and accommodate for your family and accommodate for the support and the help that you might need to get there. But go for it. Don't hold yourself back because you feel restricted or you feel guilty, about focusing on your own professional development or your career.
Couldn't agree more. What's the best way of getting in touch with you, Zen, if people need a bit of one-on-one advice or some resources as well?
Well, I'm happy to support. I'm on LinkedIn. I've got around 9,000 followers. So I'm always posting articles. I'm always posting information. We have the Pushing the Boundaries session. We also have the online courses on www.zenpd.ae. So go online, have a look. And I'm happy to have a chat. I'm ready to help. Anyone who needs any support in the community, do reach out, and come and join our sessions and have a one-to-one if needs be.
Brilliant. Then thank you so much for your time. Zen Kahn, the Managing Director, Zen Professional Development.